The paradigm shift is that we have to think about everything from the listener's perspective. You're not a Broadway show. You're not a stand-up comic or the world's greatest lecturer who is so knowledgeable that everyone would just be in awe of you. It's always about the listeners. Your speech is not about your topic specifically, and your speech is not about you. Your presentation is about your listeners. And if your presentation isn't about your listeners, it's not about anything. It's a waste of time. It's got to be about the listeners. Everyone's tuned into WIFM, what's in it for me? And we're all that way. We are self-interested. I want the presenter to answer my questions, to solve my problems, and to give me some tools and whatever it is I need to be successful. That's why I'm listening to you. I'm not here out of some kind of academic interest. I'm sure that the people you're talking to, Michael, are there because they want to build things or change things or invest in things or whatever that is, whatever they are in their story. So the one paradigm shift is it's always about the listeners. On the other one, it's always a narrative. Now I'm telling you this because understanding these two fundamentals, if you don't indeed already embrace these ideas, is what will make the biggest difference to every aspect of your speaking. So, human beings are the dominant species on this planet. And we are the dominant species because we've developed language skills, and for 150,000 years, we have communicated orally. This writing stuff is brand new, wouldn't even show up in a study. We are oral communicators, and we are storytellers. And we have always, for tens of thousands of years, seen our lives and our work and our beliefs, everything in a narrative form. And when you begin to see your presentations as narratives, and when you appreciate that everyone that you're speaking to is at a particular point in their story, then suddenly everything just gets a lot more interesting and a lot more specific. If you're lucky like Mike here, who is telling people the story of the new amalgamated and coordinated and synchronized transportation system and the end of gridlock, then you're pretty lucky because everything fits into that context. But everyone that Mike is speaking to has their own story because there's retailers and educators and factory workers and ordinary folks, citizens getting around, and traveling is part of our story. So it's about the listeners. It has to be in a narrative, and your state of mind is the greatest determining factor in your success in any given presentation. We're going to talk about voice, and sure, I have a master's degree in voice and speech, whatever that means. But the reality is that great speaking is about clear thinking. And it's about reading people. So those of you, which is almost all of you, who are not making much eye contact when you're talking, are seriously affecting your voice. Manish speaks too quietly because he doesn't look at people, so he doesn't know that he needs to talk louder. So most quiet speakers are people who are not so comfortable with eye contact, or who haven't somehow gotten around to trying that.